Now I am going to share the screen.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now listen, I am going to explain stanza wise. So in the first stanza, the poet, he compares the man with animals. So I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. So first I will tell you the meaning. Turn here means go back from the company of man. Placid means calm. Self-contained means quiet and not depending on the company of others. Now, in the first stanza, the poet sees that human beings suffer from many faults. The poet has decided that he thinks that he could turn and live with animals, means he could go back from the company of man and start living with animals because the animals are so placid and self-contained. Why does the poet decide to live with animals? Because the poet has found that the animals are so calm and self-contained. Self-contained means they are quiet and not depending on others. So the poet, he finds that human beings suffer from many faults. They lack virtues. They lack in many virtues. The poet doesn't find their company enjoyable. Then, after looking at the man, the poet turned towards the animals. He looks at animals. The poet sees that animals have many virtues that man lacks so badly. The poet sees that animals remain so calm and quiet and independent. Animals are so self-contained and they don't depend on the company of others. These qualities of animal fill the poet with wonder. He stands near them and keeps looking at them for a long, long time. Now, the second stanza, they don't sweat and whine about their condition. They don't lie awake in the dark and weep for their sin. They don't make me sick discussing their duty to God. So here, sweat here means remain in a state of anxiety. Whine means grumble. Make me sick means filled with disgust. So the poet, he keeps on comparing animals with human beings. And while comparing animals with human beings, the poet says that animals don't remain in a state of anxiety. Anxiety means worry. So compared to man, animals never worried about their future or the present. They don't grumble over their condition. So they don't complain. Grumble means they never complain about their condition. Animals, they live in whichever condition they have to live. They don't spend their night lying awake. You see, we human beings, we spend our whole night lying awake thinking about the future. But animals, they don't spend their nights lying awake. We human beings think about the sin which we have committed and we have to keep lying awake the whole night. We are not able to sleep thinking about the sin. While the animals, they don't have to weep over their sins in the dark. Animals never commit sins in their lives. And that's why they don't have to weep over their sins in the dark. Animals don't commit any sins in their lives. So they don't have to weep in the dark. So they could sleep whole night peacefully. They don't have to lie awake at night, unlike the human being. Usually people keep talking about their duty to God. So we human being, we talk about our duty to God, but we forget our duty towards the creation of God, means our fellow being. So we are a very hypocrites that we talk about our duty to God. We worship God. We offer God so many things, but we never help one another. We never show compassion towards animal. We never show sympathy towards human being. So we forget our duty to towards the creation of God. And who is the creation of God? Man himself. So we never help one another. But they forget all about their duty to God's being. So we human being, we talk about our duty to God, but we forget all our duty towards the God's beings. Such a talk makes the poet sick. The poet feels with disgust whenever he hears such a hypocritical talk from the man. He says that animals don't indulge in such hypocritical talk. Unlike the human being, unlike the man, animals never indulge in such type of hypocrisy. They never make a show of worshipping to God, offering to God. Animals, they are kind to one another. They never make a show off. Not one is dissatisfied. Not one is demented with the mania of owning things. No one kneels to another, not to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is regretful or unhappy over the whole earth. So first of all, demented means crazy, mad, extremely upset. Mania means extremely abnormal desire that lived thousands of years ago means here is reference to ancient gods, goddesses, saints, and prophets who are supposed to have lived thousands of years ago and whom people worship now. So these are the word meaning. So the poet continuing with the comparison between animals and man, the poet Whitman says that not even a single animal is dissatisfied with its condition. Unlike man, who is unhappy with whatever he has, who is never happy with whatever he has, but he is only thinking about what he doesn't have. Animals never dissatisfied with their condition. They are happy with their condition. So on the contrary, every man remains forever dissatisfied and unhappy. So man is never satisfied with whatever God has gifted to him. There is not a single animal that is mad with the mania of owning things. So here, unlike man, animals are not mad with the mania of owning things. Man is crazy. Man is mad with owning things. But animals, they are never mad with the mania of owning things. So every man is mad in the race of possessing material things. So we human beings we lead a materialistic life. So if we have a bicycle, then we think about car, an aeroplane. So we are in the race of possessing material things. We are not happy with whatever we have. Unlike man, no animal has to kneel or bow down to another of his own species. So we human being, we because of our selfish interest, we bow down, we kneel down to our own species against human being. But unlike the man, no animal has to bow down to the same species. Have you ever seen lion bowing down to lion? No. But we human beings, we are so self-centered. We are so selfish that for our selfish interest, we bow down or we kneel down to our own same species. No one has to kneel before those of their kind who had lived thousands of years ago. So even man is so mad with owning things that man is going down to all those people, those who lived thousands of years ago, means gods and goddesses even. So we go to temple and we worship God and we ask God to give us all those things which we don't have. So but animals, they never bow down, they never kneel down to God for possessing all those material things. So there is no animal who is sad or unhappy over the whole earth. Unlike man, who is unhappy, who is sad, no animal is unhappy or sad over the whole earth. No one is regretful because they have not committed any wrong or sin. So we are regretting after committing sin, after doing wrong things. But unlike man, no animal is regretting because animals never commit any sin. Animals never commit any wrongdoing to one another. Now, so they show their relation to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself, the evince them plainly in their possession. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? Here, relations means relationship, tokens means signs, symbols, evidence means so clearly, negligently means carelessly. So here, the poet sees that animals have the same qualities that he has. So they show their relation to me and I accept them. The poet here sees that animals have the same qualities that man has. Like man, like him, they too look happy, calm, and contented. So, like man, animals too look happy, calm, and satisfied. There is much in the poet that corresponds with the nature of animals. So, there is similar. So, there is a comparison, similarity between man and animals. So, there is the poet here correspondence with the nature of animals. He says that he had perhaps passed that way a long time back and dropped some of his tokens. Here, the poet says that man has perhaps passed that way a long time back and dropped some of the tokens. Tokens means virtues. The animals picked up those tokens and kept them in their possession. So the virtues like compassion, sympathy, mercy, the tokens which are dropped by man now picked up those tokens and kept them in their possession. So the animals picked up those tokens means virtues which are dropped by man. So man used to possess all those virtues in the past, but negligently man dropped those virtues and they are picked up by now animals. They are called tokens. The poet means to say that he shares with animals their simplicity, innocence, and contentment. So here, at the end of the poem, the poet says that the poet means to say that he has shared with animals their simplicity, innocence, and contentment. These are the virtues. Man has forgotten to lead simple life, innocent life, and the life of contentment. But these qualities are now possessed by animals. So we find all these virtues, we find all these qualities in animals. They are so simple, They are so innocent and they are leading a satisfied life. So now this poem is taken from the song of myself in the leaves of grass. And through this poem, the poet Walt Whitman has compared man with animals. So I hope you all have understood the poem. So those who join late, I am going to keep the video of this poem offline also in WhatsApp. So now, one by one, I will keep yes my video on YouTube. So one by one, you can leave the session. Monday again we will start the new chapter in the footprint without feet. Thank you.